Black is not a color, but it's really a condition that everything comes out of, that everything has risen. This whole universe started off with dark energy, manifested sun, moon, and stars in the galaxy, occupied the universe from primordial existence. Friction plus he created Big Bang in an instance. Subatomic particles brought together by magnetism, subdivided the visible spectrum into the perfect prism. What I'm really saying is black created everything, binded all the elements together like a wedding ring. In the center of the galaxy, you have a black hole, keeping everything stable. It's important that you know. Wonder if you knew that the sun was really black? The yellow is an illusion based on friction, and that's facts. This is why African people are people of the sun. Without us, the whole entire planet would be done. About this man that's known as Khalid Muhammad. He'll make a hater vomit cause he's so solid, so I got to pay homage. Was a leader in a nation, never mistaken, real dark black like Haitians, and never no coward. He was the symbolism of black power. He was controversial, never need rehearsal. Ay, spit it off the dome, leave that man alone. Man, it hurt my soul, that Khalid is gone. Yo, rest in peace to one of our greatest leaders, better than preachers, powerful speaker, and when he traveled he carried the heater. When you get a chance, I want you to Google Khalid Muhammad verse Phil Donahue. No words can properly explain exactly what he was about to do. Hey, and he led Black Panthers too, but the critics they called him radical, cause he was a black supremacist. You feel it inherit, he just like a menace. He was trained by Farrakhan, he taught him the ropes how to stand on this square. Yeah, they got into it, but they worked through it. At the end of the day, it was fair. No matter what he did, he always remembered his one and true foundation, and everyone knew it because he spoke fluent right through it, and that was the nation. Who was the one that brought the hit raps to pop culture? Catch a side angle, kinda perfect like a sculpture. Made it cool for women to be spiritual, mysteriously sexy and deadly because she lyrical. Chills up my spine when I speak the name Badu. If I could implement your message, I could fly too. Matter of fact, it's like she leads the way for you to fly home. Now when I get in relationships, I try to never call Tyrone. She got the power just to really change a nigga life. Energy to make him turn left, and now he walking right. You can smell her presence from the second she walk in the room. Realize you hypnotized and you gon' feel it real soon. She steady keep evolving different images she pass it. Embracing nudity on window seat, that was a classic. And several different women now they following her footsteps. Close my eyes, I hear her voice and I ain't even look yet. Salute to the queen because you know she really changed the game. Ever since she came and made her lane, things are not the same. Y'all heard about Tupac, but what about Asada? Representing, celebrate her legacy, I got her. Black Panther Party plus the Liberation Army making white supremacy. Vocal goggles look foggy. How many women can you say escaped from prison? Literally had the guards like damn she missing. Then she went to Cuba for political asylum. American informants, they can never ever find her. Now she's on America's most wanted list. If you ask me, that's an accomplishment. Black power militant she riding with. Oh, perfect special places she be hiding in. Yo, I be like you free. Invisible, she told him you can't see me. Man, it makes the president mad. She got away, she on another different continent and laughing every day. She who struggles, maximizing with the hustle. Apparently she leave a legacy and it ain't subtle. Let me introduce you to the god of weightlifting. I'ma say a little something by the story, just listen. He was in the military stationed in Germany. Special type positions during national emergency. 2nd degree black belt, slice and make him yell help. Can't imagine what he felt, all those trophies on the shelf. Won a bench press competition like 3 times. Back to back like every year. Do it again, that's rewind. In 2005, God rushed to the emergency. Doctor said he gon' need the open heart surgery. Died on the hospital bed like 2 times. Came back to life, all facts, this is no lie. Doctor said if you keep lifting, man, you gon' die. He said I'm dead without it, so I might as well try. I'd rather die on the bench doing what I love. That way I appreciate the gift that's from above. That's the greatest motivation I can really say. He pushed past the pain, still lifting to this day. Salute to the flexure on my mind when I'm lifting weights. It ain't no excuse, so the risk, yeah, I'm about to take it. Hey. introduce you to the special women, hoping you can listen. Talking about the most perfect mom on television, universal feminine, spiritually flexible. Tell me who's a better wife than Mrs. Huxtable. Sweet like candy and her skin stay honey brown. Looking at the old episode, still funny now. A woman of many talents, singer, actor, and a stage director. Plus she always doing better. In my dreams I always met her. An example of a real woman, set the standard. Elegance and beauty really move me to the best of manners. Nobody did it better, she ain't never degrade herself. When I watch her, good wholesome energy is what I felt. What if we had a world full of women doing the same, just like Felicia Rashad, saving the day, paving the way, making it plain all the time. So I gotta bust this rhyme. Talking about her makes me feel good like when the sun shines. Salute to the queen with the positive image. And she made impressions on the world and you can feel it, feel it, feel it. All up in your spirit, feel it, feel it, you know you can hear it. Deep in the conspiracy, exactly what I'm trying to see. So I'm about to talk about one of the kings of comedy. Mr. Bernie Mac knew exactly where it's at, and he would always tell the truth, and he was ready to attack on tour with the Kings, bro. You gotta pay attention. He exposed a little something, gotta go back and listen. He said they were scared to give him his own show because he spoke facts and he was letting people know. Just like that episode where he exposed the banks plus the Federal Reserve and all the money that they take. He talked about the human clones that they make in Hollywood. Read between the lines though, you kinda really probably should. The last episode of the Bernie Mac show, they had a scene where he died and he was at the funeral. 2 years later, bro, he died in real life. Man, are you hearing this? What is the coincidence? And he had that movie that he did with Isaac Hayes, but before it got released, they both saw their last days. With these little facts, the men are always trying to wrestle. It sounds like a double joint Illuminati special. I know y'all seen the movie, it was dope, it was a classic. But what about the TV show? You just can't look past it. Black family with the positive energy set the best example, and that's why they made history. Never wasn't perfect, they displayed real problems, but they came together as a family to solve them. Kenny had his own business, he the black businessman. Made it real successful, it was stressful, that's the business plan. Lim was in the streets, but eventually he changed his ways. Opened up a grocery store and now the brother running place. What about his wife Tracy? Had her own hair salon. Focus when she fly through, sexy and she fine too. Gotta talk about Maxine, she was perfect. Dreadlocks, spiritual, sweet like orange sherbet. And I get hyped when I say Terry Joseph. She was the best lawyer in the city, gotta notice. Man, you gotta check out the show, it's real deep. All the jewels that they drop, best believe I will keep. Hey. Take a moment just to talk about Miss Hill, special type of woman that I'm absolutely sure you feel. Showtime at the Apollo, she was younger, but her voice still hit heavy like thunder. Eventually got a leading role on Sister Act. Man, she real talented. Notice how she's singing rap, only female in a group called Fugees. Liberation lyrics, they would always speak through me. Miss Education was her one and only album, but it was a classic and it went past platinum. Industry tried to change her and put her in a box, but she stayed true to herself, rocking dreadlocks. 2013, sent to prison off tax evasion, but they really mistaken. They really attacked her cause she wasn't complacent. Didn't go with the mainstream, really did her own thing. Plenty of women look like her with the same vibe. If you ask me, they all come from the same tribe. Hey, they all come from the same tribe. Hey, they all come from the same tribe. Martin was cool, but Malcolm X is where it's at. No, he wasn't blind cause he knew he had to use a strap. Martin may have had a passive philosophy, but he was still fighting deep down in the street. Fighting deep down in the street, you sound crazy. Malcolm X was the only one that really did it daily. But that's not true, Martin King did it too. Don't forget that he got killed trying to tell the truth. What about the case that took place when he died? The judge said that it was the FBI. Why would they kill you if you are not a threat? Clearly Martin Luther King was coming at their necks. Okay, I agree, I respect all facts. All I'm saying is Malcolm X is still where it's at. Loading up the weapons and he made us move faster. Plus you gotta remember he inspired the Black Panthers. Kill him with his intellect, boy you better show respect. Malcolm X was also coming at them fools next. Okay, I agree, yeah you kinda got a point. Let's just say they both great, might as well all rejoice. I'ma talk about one of the best warrior queens. So I gotta focus like them infrared beams. Deep in Nigeria, you hear about her legacy. Queen of the city-state, but a warrior especially. She was the leader of 100,000 soldiers. My bad, more than that. Gotta remember artifacts. What about her artifacts? Statue of a ninja, straight out of Zazu, stone cold killer. Trump trying to build a wall for whatever reason. Mina had a wall built during every season. She needed defense for the move she was making. Expanding the borders, now the trade routes ain't vacant. Making it easier for every single citizen. Multiply the resources, amplify the dividend. Y'all heard about Xena, that TV show? They got that from Amina, that's the story they wrote. Man, she's so strong she could break out a dungeon. Rest in peace, she made a transition early 1600s. Europe has always tried to take over Africa. Ongoing struggle, yep, continuous massacre. But specifically, I'm talking about the British and the war against Ghana when they really was trying to get it. Last woman standing was the Queen of Ashanti, skin black like Foxy with a warrior's body. Defending West Africa with sacred karate, icing like they hockey, knocking off Pinciatis. The sun cycle really is exposing this truly. They had our whole formation in the Black Panther movie. Yo, secret sister circle in the middle of the battlefield. In tune with natural nature, bright like daffodils. Learn from her story, she was fighting off invasion. Africa was always invaded by white faces. Last war against the British, it was fought in 1900s. Over 5,000 soldiers, and you know when they was gunning. If you fighting for your land, best believe that she proud of ya. Say your name one time, Ya Santiwa. They talk about Wonder Woman and the Amazonian soldiers, but that was a misinterpretation of the Mino warriors. Military full of women, well trained and sophisticated. Rigorous practice, the whole concept was complicated. Legend has it that they sliced off the heads of their enemies. Still kept balance and created peace treaties. Dominate the playing field early 1700s. In the country of Dahomey with weapons they was having fun with. A better interpretation would be the Black Panther movie. Military haircuts still reflecting beauty. Went crazy on the battlefield, slicing through the trenches. Screaming out the battle cry, that'll get their attention. They was also taught survival skills and plus discipline. Spoke a secret language just in case the enemy listening. Yo, they were given notoriety as high as the eye can see. Prestigious citizens, celebrities of the community. To these women I will salute and bow down. We need to make a statue and put it downtown. Set it on the podium, find the biggest mantle. Influence young women, yeah, that'll set an example. The warrior with a spear that'll go straight through you. Recognize the profound history of Shaka Zulu. Raised an army that can initiate a massacre. Invaders were skeptical about going to South Africa. It's obvious to see he was the most influential. Read about his story and learn about his credentials. Solely responsible for the Zulu community. Tribes in close proximity came together for unity. To this day, the spirit he left behind is alive through the bloodline. Try to infiltrate, trust me, you gonna have a tough time. Yo, Europeans get shook up when they hear the name Zulu. Even after death, they reincarnate a new crew. Dynamic war tactics, obligation was to punish. Salute to his reign in the early 1800s. If it were not for him, the British would have got off easy. But instead, they had to retreat and devise a new plan completely. Hey, we can learn from the Zulus when it comes to gentrification. Modern day colonialism set against the nation. Motivation from history, best believe that I got it. Ever since I found out about Askia Muhammad, one of the most influential rulers of the West Africa, expanded education, mathematics, and algebra. The best of the West was the Shanghai Kingdom. Scholar soldiers, all people, he would lead them. Opened up trade routes between Europe and Asia. With his profound intellect, he did the whole continent a favor. Even though he was a Muslim, he united the religions. Investing in education was one of his best decisions. Can't nobody say that he wasn't for the people. Treat him like the equal, from the beetle to the eagle. Yo. Didn't hesitate to inspire a military. Poisoned arrows for the enemy, the sight of it looks scary. When you in that type of position, you gotta make improvements. Never would just talk about it, he would actually do it. The people felt safe knowing he was on the throne. Make a lucrative zone like stones, they stayed strong. In the 1500s, Africa was attacked by the Portuguese. But Queen Zinga put up a fight for the whole wide world to see. Didn't hesitate to fight against colonialism and rejected all methods of the capitalistic system. Ruler of Angola, yeah, she sat on the throne. Profound negotiator, so they left her alone. Highly intelligent, they respected her ways. Never hesitated to accept runaway slaves. She also got that arrow that'll go straight through you. Salute to her tribe, the people of Mbundu. Hey, create a stronghold just to protect the nation. Always reject the invasion of them white Caucasians. Sat down with the generals, influenced their decision. Enemy of the people would always end up missing. Yo, we should take notes and study her whole story. Every single chapter leads to the road to glory. Make a European think twice before you start to colonize. Really gotta understand, always protect the motherland. One thing they don't tell you in the history books is the true race of the natives before this land was took. They destroyed the history, hoping to leave no traces, so we won't know the American Indians had black faces. The black African came way before the white invaders. But that's talking about the Olmecs, so we'll get to that later. Right now, I really want to bring to your attention that the original tribes were native black Indians. It was a time of harmony when all was equal, when Southern America was occupied by the Yamasee people. Africa to America was a real common route. All original Indians were black, but the Washita Yamasee really stands out. They were one of the only tribes who never sold out. When the British came in and they fought to defend, the Yamasee War lasted for about 2 years. Defense force on the land with bows and spears. Many black Americans to this day are descendants of the Washita Yamasee who fought to stay. So much to say, but so very little time. It's too bad that this verse is just a 1 minute rhyme.
Everybody know that life started in Africa, but what about them Africans that traveled to America? This was way before the history story was even told yet. Let it be known that the first ones here was the Olmecs. Advanced civilization, no matter what you heard, was in tune with our nature from insects to birds. They are the original of all your native Indians, so many of them that you couldn't get rid of them. Eventually the Chinese came and mixed with them as equals, and this is the origin of all Mexican people. The Asiatic Hindu also eventually came to these lands, mixed in and created different color Indians. Within time, the original Olmecs went south, created statues and monuments that was easy to point out. They gave culture to every single part of the continent. The original black seed, no place you wouldn't find them in. So when the Europeans came, they copied everything and started running it, duplicated and altered the native.
So when the Europeans came, they copied everything and started running it, duplicated and altered the Native American government.
Profound historical information is what I'm trying to send ya. Just check out the old stone hinges in the city of La Venta. Europeans couldn't comprehend exactly how they built it. Buried deep inside the earth, so it's really hard to steal it. Hey, our history is obvious no matter what they taking. The statues all depict the image of black faces. This history is sacred and secret, we gotta keep it. Olmec civilization existed during the same time as ancient Egypt. You can tell from the similarities from the temples and the monuments, world-changing structures, symbols, and great pyramids. What about the Moors? They eventually came too. Couple different groups, but they was really the same crew. Mixed in with the Olmecs and created new tribes. Washita Yamasee was Scobians, no lie. In conclusion, the original Indians were African. Mathematics and sacred geometry they was mastering.
Just to make sure none of the people is mistaken, I'ma pay homage to this very great nation. Body of citizens and Malachi's the president. Started building way in the 60s with the rest of them, but we stood out cause we kept switching up. Culture kept evolving, all the questions we would solve them. Muslims, Hebrew, Christian, Israelites, we did it all. Traveled through the schools of thought, see the stories on the wall. Now we on another level, cause we really walked the path. Learning about them extraterrestrials in the sacred math. What about the land? Over 400 acres, bringing Africa to America. Now we ballin' like Lakers. Recognize indigenous tribes, so we are unique. Nuwapi and Yamasee, Washita, Seminole Creek. Doing several different things that you never seen before. Still repping black and gold, so we gotta let the people know.
Black power energy, everybody got it, but it all came from Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm X to Farrakhan, all the way to college. Ali the greatest, he would kill him with the knowledge. You know that they organize, focus in they militant, praying and they fast too, so they stay diligent, and they so disciplined, MGT vigilant, disregard the haters cause they weren't significant. Being around the family, I could really feel the energy, so I had to recognize them as black history. Even to this day, best believe that they hold it strong. Frontline soldier, white supremacy, they taking on. Take a person off the street, make them stand upright. Try to take them out, best believe it'll be a tough fight.
got my information straight, so you can't try me. That's why I salute the king. No, but Drew Ali brought to our attention we was first in America. Both we was riding in first on the continent. Taught white people mathematics and science. If you heard different, then trust me, they lying. Know your information, cause you protected from certain laws written in the peace treaty. Falsehood, not at all. This a complex doctrine, so it ain't simple. Gotta pay homage to the more science temple. When you see the red fest, recognize it's serious. Shout out to the enemy, I'm hoping that you're hearing this. More science really explaining social security. In your birth certificate, I'm hoping that you're hearing me. Masonic doctrine cultivated in the sacred book. Noble Drew Ali on the scene had the world shook.
Rasta, 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 Rasta man, Rasta, 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 Rasta man, Rasta, 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 Rasta.
A lot of different groups coming through like monsters. But tell me who compares to them old school Rastas? Hail to Babylon, watch it all fall down. Dreadlock, bomber, clock, man, Rasta man town. Yo, I salute the culture cause I know it's authentic. Deep inside the jungles, intruders can't get up in it. In tune with natural nature, veganism is the goal. Rasta man stay strong, make sure everybody know. Hey, yeah, they were rebellious living outside the matrix. Fasting for several days, their body can really take it. Initiation process is hard to go through it. Did you know that they assisted with the Marcus Garvey movement? What about the music? That's the right vibration. Peter Tosh, Bob Marley, they really healed the nation. Rasta man know that the herb is for healing. So they stay high, rise above the whole ceiling.
Rasta, Rasta, Rasta man, Rasta, 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 Rasta.
Clarity of all of the programs and all of the education has to be questioned, indicted, and convicted, because the bottom line is that America is not and has never tried to produce African adults who are functional, self-sufficient, who understand their politics, their economics, and their relationship to the world politics and the world.
One of the strongest women, I'm not really sure you know her. That's why I'ma sit and talk about Sister Soldier. Liberation lyrics elevating through hip-hop. Special type of activist is going in, it won't stop. Yeah, she was a real threat. Dark black, show respect. Coming at them fools' necks. Pay homage to the vet. Never hesitate to tell the truth and made it plain as day. Hearing all the real issues, listen to what the people say. And she got the voice that'll roar like a lion. Speaking all facts, recognizing she ain't lying. One of the first pioneers of conscious rap music. She wouldn't just talk about it, she would do it and prove it. Motivation from Sister Soldier, best believe I got it. Low key, she was a female version of Khalid Muhammad. We need more women just like her, not as black power. Standing real tall, looking down like the Eiffel Tower. Yo, coming through, you don't even understand. They always tell you about one side of slavery, but they refuse to talk about when the blacks show bravery. We need to infiltrate, come through straight stomping, as I talk about the Stone Rebellion of the mid-1700s. What do you do when you can't take no more? Start a revolution so they can't rape no more. Step in the rebellion so they can't kill no more. And we make history, believe this gon' show. The Stone Rebellion was started by African slaves. Salute to the ancestors, bow down to their graves. Another group of black people that attacked against the Portuguese. Revolution execution for the whole wide world to see. We need to come together and focus on fighting back modern day colonialism, so get the strap. We the Justice League, let's assemble the whole crew. Usually our unity is stronger when we coming through.
First let me tell you, Lee was first on every continent. You know it's true because our melanin is dominant. But pretty soon we got invaded by some communists. Our way of life we had to change it, going opposite.
Walk the rough and rugged path, wondering where it starts. It's clear to see the Africans started martial arts. Complex doctrine, so you know it's not simple. Gotta pay homage to the Shaolin Temple. Channel all the energy, the spirits, what I felt. Why you think the highest degree is the black belt? Black Africans was the first to come to Asia. Laid the platform for the culture, now they sharp like razors. Each punch got a rhythm, so it's 1, 2, 3. Shout out to Michael J. White, he's the black Bruce Lee. You could also find the evidence hidden in ancient Egypt. Hieroglyphics, they depicted formations and you can see it. We the ones who taught the science of meditation, divine skills of yoga and healing the whole nation. Salute to the black Shaolin still training. I need more time so I can really start.
My whole thing, the Mike Rashid mind state, is to be a complete package. Mind, body, spiritual, okay? I ain't trying to sound all deep on y'all, but that's really my mind state, my mindset. That's how I get down. That's what motivates me going.
When I need an extra push, I go to Mike Rashid. Extensive motivation give me exactly what I need. Turning inner thoughts into outer realities. If you fight him in the ring, for you it'll be a tragedy. Weightlifting dedicated to the body transformation. Bigger and better every year, so please don't get it mistaken. Live like a lion, that's his one and only slogan. King of the jungle, his enemies, he'll fold him. Ran from the police and lived as a fugitive. But that didn't stop him from making $1 million business that was lucrative. King of the ring with 0% body fat, physique of a god, exactly what you're looking at. If I train just as hard, then hopefully I can copy that. Focus on my martial arts, trying to bring karate back. Salute to Mike Rashid, one of the best is still going.
When the sun's out, the gun's out, so the muscles is what I'm holding.
So the Usha research decided to put compounds together that would definitely hit the core of this thing we call disease. We just didn't want to make products that we read in other books and give that to you. Making recommendations.
Been traveling on a serious health journey lately, so I gotta recognize the contributions of Dr. Sebi, the one who proved a cure for cancer is possible. Plus blindness and HIV is not a big obstacle. Gave us the knowledge and the root of all disease. The whole world was astounded by his expertise. He understood that we were spiritual beings with physical bodies. Now they trying to take his medicine and make artificial copies. He told us about the poison that they put inside the white rice. Don't get me started on the meat, we really gotta find the right bite. Kept it in our minds that the herbs are for healing. That's your best foundation for medicinal expectation. And don't forget the water is the source of our life. Drink it in the morning, in the noon, and at night. Shout out to Minister Inky and KT and his many students. Keeping the teachers alive, all you gotta do is do it. Black is not a color, but it's really a condition that everything comes out of, that everything has risen. This whole universe started off with dark energy, manifested sun, moon, and stars in the galaxy. Occupy the universe from primordial existence. Friction plus he created Big Bang in an instance. Subatomic particles brought together by magnetism subdivided the visible spectrum into the perfect prism. What I'm really saying is black created everything, binded all the elements together like a wedding ring. In the center of the galaxy, you have a black hole, keeping everything stable. It's important that you know. Wonder if you knew that the sun was really black? The yellow is an illusion based on friction, and that's facts. This is why African people are people of the sun. Without us, the whole entire planet would be done. The original people is a replication of the universe. Dark matter, cosmic energy is how our body works. Talk about the melanin. That's a photopigment. We got it in our eyes, so you know we see different. Melanin is literally our body's natural sunlight, and it's black like everything else, keeping brown skin tight. Salute to all black people. Recognize you special. We deserve the best, and we should never ever settle.